Hello everyone, welcome back to Rathbone Manor. Today I thought you might like to take a look at my collection of small tripods and phone holders. Some of the stuff you will have seen on my channel before, namely this and this, but other bits and pieces you might not have seen. Some of it I have had for a long time. This here, for instance, I've had quite a while. Other bits and pieces I've picked up along the way. Some of it from charity shops, these two here. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with taking a look at this little fellow right here. What we have here is a little Cullman. The tripod that this particular camera is mounted on is also a Coleman tripod, and I picked that one up from a charity shop. This one I bought brand spanking new back in the 80s sometime. I can't remember exactly when, but it had been the early 80s. Not sure, somewhere between probably 80 and 85, somewhere like that. Probably the earlier part, I would have thought. It's mostly made of polymer by the looks of it. You have a little removable camera mounting pad here. What can we do with it? Well, you can tilt it for a start. It tilts. You can see, tilts all the way, and obviously pans as well, and we can lock it off like so. It's also got this strange thing here, which the tripod I'm currently using has got exactly the same feature on it too. I would say it's for mounting some kind of accessory that I don't have currently. You can see there's a little retaining screw here for it. So what can we do with this little fellow then? Well, you can extend it out for a start. It's spring loaded. There we go. So it will extend out. And you tighten it down, there we go. And these are little legs here. So you can make it into a little tripod, as you can see. There we go, makes a handy little tripod there. As well as being a tripod, there is another feature you can do with this thing here. If you fold the little legs up, let me turn them around. Let's see if I can get this right. I've not done this in a long while. There we go, like so. We then have a rifle stock style brace for your camera, which we can use like this, which I thought was something interesting back in the day. A good way to steady my SLR that I had back then. The other thing I like about it is the tiny little package that it folds away into. And we also have a little sling mount here, so you can hang it round your neck while you're using it. See that there? I think it's quite well made actually, very nicely made from, I was saying polymers I think. It's mostly plastic, there are some bits of metal on there. You have a little threaded mounting point on the tail here. You can, like most tripods, you can flick out the little mounting plates that will stay locked onto your camera. And yeah, so you can adjust the head here. And we have some little markings on there as well. Yeah, so it's quite a nice little thing, and as I said, I've had this since about, I don't know, 81, 82, 83 possibly, something like that there. Okay, so I'm not really sure which of these two I bought next. It might have been this little Hamar, and it might have been the little Joby Gorilla Pod here, but let's start with the little Hamar, little tiny little tripod, very small. Not too badly made, I guess. You've got plastic components here, metal legs. It has a pan and tilt function too. Got a little cork insert here. Let's stand him up so you can have a look at it better. There we go, at its lowest mounting point just there. As I say, we have both tilt and pan functions on it. You can lock them both off. We turn that one to lock it there, and we can turn this to lock that one off, lock the tilt off. But it also, it says push just here, Okay, so you've got the level just there, and you simply give it a shove like so, pushes over, and you can then stand it up to have your camera in that sort of mode. To be honest, I don't think you're going to mount a very heavy camera on this little fellow here because of the way the legs operate. See, this is what we have here is the lowest mode. What we can do is we can extend the legs out like so. Depending on how you deploy the legs on these, they're either strong or they're not. As you can see, that's quite easy to push in, but if we turn it round a bit, there we go, it's clicked. And that is a lot more firm, a lot more sturdy. There we go. And then we have a much taller tripod to play with. I have used this little tripod with this large camera here, but you do have to watch out stability wise, because you need a leading leg like so, because if you have it like this, I don't think it's all that stable. Look, it wouldn't take much to tip it over. The tripod is a lot more stable with the legs extended. With this large camera, it's a lot better, but it's a little bit, as you can see, there's a little bit of wobbling going on there in the legs. So, you know, I think this size of DSLR is about the maximum you're going to get on it. Mounting the camera to this little tripod is very easy indeed. You've got a little turn wheel here. Simply mate the threads up together and turn it on like so. And the camera's mounted. Okay, so let's take a look at a little Joby GorillaPod here. I probably had this about 3 or 4 years, if not a bit longer, something like that. I can't remember when I bought it now. But I needed this little small tripod that I could use in funny places, because as you can see, these things are really quite flexible in what you can do with them. And I just wanted something I could get a camera into some really unusual places. I mean, as you know, you can hook these things just about anywhere really. They're very, very flexible indeed. And they'll hold the camera nice and firmly too, as you can see, look. They have these little flexible joints here with the rubber just there. I'd say they're very easy to mould around. This one happens to have a level bubble on it, so you can get it nice and level. And we also have the ability to flex the head about all over the place and then lock it off again when you need it. You have a little detachable plate here. If I can get it out, there we go. A little detachable plate to attach to your camera. So again, you can leave this attached to your camera and just take the little GorillaPod off when you need to. So that's quite a handy little thing. I can't remember when I bought that now, as I say, but I've had it for a good few years now. You know, flexible, useful. I've used it a few times, I must admit. And then a few years ago, I found this little fellow in a charity shop. I thought, well, that's nice. I like the look of that little fellow. That's what I paid for it, £1.50. Not bad at all. It has a few accessories in the package that I don't believe are supposed to be there. There's like a camera strap. I don't think that's supposed to be there. This electrical connection lead, definitely not meant to be there. So chuck those over there. And here is the little tripod itself. Look, this is quite an interesting looking thing. I did actually do a posting on Instagram this morning about all my little tripods, but I completely forgotten about this little fellow. Then I found it in the cupboard down here, and I thought, yeah, let's include that as well then. So you won't see that on my Instagram posting, unfortunately. So yeah, I thought I'm going to have that, definitely for £1.50, because it's when I looked at it, it's got quite a nice tilt. That's nicely damped tilt there. You won't be able to tell, but it is nicely damped. And we have an equally nicely damped pan as well. It's quite unusual in the way it works. It just folds out like so. It's a little small tabletop tripod that I think is very nicely constructed. I say we've got very nicely damped pan and tilt there. That's nice. Got a little button there because some cameras have a little hole in them. We've got quite a nice little rubber top on it just there to mount the camera on. Nicely made. I think it's plastic, mainly plastic or polymer. Quite a nice little thing. Nice and strong and solid. You can put a fairly hefty camera on here, I think, and so you can lock it off so it's not going to tip over. Little rubber feet. Quite a nice little thing. I've got a review of this on my channel if you want to take a look. But yeah, I quite like that too. Folds up very nicely. You could easily carry that in a camera bag, not all that heavy. Not really one for taking selfies, but this is quite a nice little selfie stick, this little Honor. I've got a review of this too, if you want to take a look at the review of this one. Nicely made, got a fold out head here that you can angle as well to whatever you want it. Obviously it extends out so that one can take selfies with it. But the thing I like about it is you've got these little magnetically closed legs at the bottom here, so you open those out, give it a little shove up there like so, and we have a very handy tripod for use with your mobile phone, which you can snap into the top here. It's a little spring-loaded carrier in the top there. So you can put your mobile phone in there quite nicely, which is very useful for keeping the camera nice and steady while you take photos, or if you want to video yourself like I've done before. When I did the door guard, I took this along to work and used it to film so that I could be in the shot. And it also has a little Bluetooth remote, so you can trigger the camera, including video, whilst you're out and about, so you don't have to go anywhere near your camera. But it's very well made, very nice, I quite like that. Okay, so my last little tripod is more of a novelty than anything else. I picked it up from a charity shop for something like a 50p or £1 or something like that there. I think I've seen these given away with camera magazines now and again. It's got a little rubber in there, you've got the little thread on there, you can pocket clip there. And basically all it does is the little legs open up very much like a gorilla pod. But I don't think you could, you couldn't take a very big camera with it. I think this is more or less aimed at mounting your phone, and to do so you're going to need something like this little Ulanzi ST03 here. This is very nice indeed. This is much better than the standard spring-loaded affairs you can also pick up, like this sort of effort here, which I really don't like. I don't like these things at all. They're very weak. I wouldn't trust an expensive camera to one of these at all. They're horrible, really. But this thing here is much nicer because it you can unscrew it to fit your camera, and it tightens down nice and gently onto your camera as well. We have little rubber feet on the lower jaw. There is your tripod mounting thread right there. Again, we have little rubber feet in the upper jaws as well, and very nicely knurled knob at the top here. As you can see, construction is alloy and steel, very nicely put together, much more secure than the cheaper spring-loaded things, I think. Okay, so here is the setup for your phone. Simply threads onto the top of the little tiny tripod, and then what we need in there is a phone. And yes, you could mount this contemporary state-of-the-art smartphone, or if you can't afford one of these, you can always mount one of the cheaper contemporary phones into it and make use of it as a little tripod for your mobile phone. Not too bad. I think if you spread the legs a bit more, it's a lot more sturdy for use with them in photography mode. There we go, it's got a picture of that little thing then. So there we go, guys, my smaller tripod and camera mount collection here. Some of them are really useful. These are all quite useful. This little thing here, as I say, is really no more than a little novelty, really, just for your little for your mobile phone. Wouldn't use it for much else, to be honest with you. The little Ulanzi here, I find to be very good, much better than those horrible spring mounted things, much more secure mount for your camera. And the selfie stick I use as a tripod when filming out and about sometimes. This is very nice, I do like this for £1.50. I can't remember how much the GorillaPod cost me now, using it now and again. I haven't used it for a while. There's a little Hamar, and then the little Cullman that I purchased back in the 80s. And that is why I bought the tripod that this camera's mounted to, because I know how good this thing is. So I thought to myself, you know, this one's going to be very nice too. Okay then guys, well thanks for popping over to Rathbone Manor. Thanks for taking a look at my little collection of tripods, and I do hope that you'll pop by in the very near future, because I'm sure I've most likely got something photography related to be reviewing at some point in the near future. So I do hope you'll pop over and join me then. Okay then everyone, thanks for popping over, thanks for taking a look, and I'll catch you laters!